Roman numeral 7 days, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that life.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Breezy, and you know I love to run my mouth. So we're back today for another review of Match Me Abroad. It was episode. We actually got a new single. So before we get into the review, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 2,000 followers. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified the next time I come to run my mouth. Make sure you follow all my socials. The links will be in the description below. And tell a friend, tell again. Anywho, the review. So this episode, we continue with Victoria, Amber, and Monica. And then we got to meet a new lady, Sarah. We're going to save her for last because Sarah had a lot going on. Her and Victoria, I feel like going to be going neck to neck. So Victoria, still on this date when we come back and see her. So he rinsed his eye out. So if y'all don't remember, last episode, old boy put the hot sauce in his eye. Oh my gosh. While they were eating oysters. He rinsed it and he wanted to continue the date. It was so uncomfortable, and I didn't understand why she wanted to continue the date, because it's like, sir, your eye's burning. But he's sitting there with a towel over his eye and they're trying to talk and discuss stuff, of course. All right. So like I was saying, I'm very shocked because it's like, you got a towel over your eye. Why won't you just end the date there? So Victoria, she looking shocked and stunned, like, are you sure? But she was like, she didn't want to confront him to end the date. So she just continued on and kept talking to him. And she felt like Katarina should do the dirty work, because she didn't even tell him, like, I don't want to date you anymore. She said she was going to leave that to Katarina. So they sit and they talk while he's sitting there with his eye, I feel like, on fire. Now, I'm a person who, I wear contacts and I've worn them for a long time. Sometimes I get eye irritation just from wearing the contacts that I am prescribed to wear. Never putting any foreign item in my eye. I know the pain that I feel when I have just personal eye irritation from my eye contacts being dry or something of that nature. He literally squirted Tabasco sauce in his eye, holding this towel to his eye and trying to have a conversation. Wow, to me, on both of their ends, that neither one of them was like, let's end the date. But anyway, they talk about why Ireland. Now he's claiming he wants to be in a serious relationship. Boy, bye. Well, I'll sleep with her and this and that, and the way you, child, no. He does want to meet again. And she's just saying yes, like, Why would you tell him the truth and say, hey, you too much. I can't do this. It was nice to meet you, and I hope that you do find someone that you're looking for. Once she realized David was too much, that was his name, David. Now you want to reevaluate. Girl, that's what Katarina was trying to tell you from the beginning. Hello? So Katarina's wrong, and I laughed at it because she knew that date was going to go bad. She knew the date went bad, and asking, how was the date? You coming in kind of being a little bit messy, shady, knowing who you set her up with and what type of antics he was. So he had told Katarina he wanted to see her again, but Victoria shared with her, hey, he's too much. And Katarina like, but you wanted a bad boy, remember? So she was like, no, she didn't want to date him, even without the hot sauce. So the hot sauce, I guess, was the cherry on top. But even before that, she knew she didn't want to date him just because of how he came off. Now, very interesting about Victoria, she doesn't want kids, and it is a deal breaker for her. But she never told Katarina that. It's like, girl, these are the things that she was looking for you to have on your wish list, have on the list of what you were looking for so she could get to know you. This is the reason why Katarina has said, I don't think I know her, and I think I have to do more in order to get to know her, because she didn't express herself. And she is asking Victoria, Katarina, like, did you express yourself in a moment? Did you tell him? And she's like, well, I didn't want to upset him. So you're worrying about other people's feelings over your own. And I think that's something that she's going to have to work on. So it's kind of like, you're here thinking you're looking for a mate, but have you really done the work on yourself? And I think about this for myself too. And I think that I'm doing those things, which is why I'm not really concerned about being in a relationship. But I think this show is like helpful to see that. It's like, you have to deal with your own stuff first. Get yourself in order, your emotions, how you deal with stuff. Like for me personally, I'm not a person that is afraid to confront things. I probably have to work in the other direction to be a little less confrontational or so abrupt and upfront about what I'm saying, and actually give it time to play out, see how things work out, and then give my assessment. Not be so quick to say no, not be so quick to shut down, not be so quick to cut people off, and give an opportunity for something to grow, or to say, okay, no, I gave it time, I gave my assessment, I really do need to be done with it or not deal with it. So Katarina is setting her up with someone else, and she said this next date is going to be about showing emotion, so her being open. And Katarina is going to go with her Victoria's a little bit scared because she's like, I feel like she'll immediately in the moment tell me, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. I think, though, Victoria needs that. So you wanted someone that's outgoing, you wanted someone bad boy and these things, but you're like a little mouse. You don't want to express yourself. You don't want to confront things. You don't want to, give your opinion on it. So I think that it's going to be interesting to see what the date with Katarina present. I don't know how present she's going to be. I hope she's not like at the table. I hope it's more so of like how Dolly did Harold, where she was like in the background somewhere. So at least there could be some semblance of it being like a real date without interference. And then maybe Katarina can come in and whatever. So that's going to be interesting to see. Amber girl, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot because you met with Kevin. It was an issue with Kevin living at home with his parents. You're complaining you don't want someone who lives at home with his parents. But now that you get with this guy, you are complaining as you pull up to his house. And it's like, girl, calm down. You're in a matchmaking experience. Just go with the flow. Figure out who it is. Find out what it is. Now, I'm going to be very honest. After we see the situation with the guy that she met, I can understand I want to be in here for it. But initially, when you just pull up, she's like, oh, I thought it was going to be some lavish place. I get the feeling from Amber that she's looking for a man to take care of her. She's looking for a man to take care of her, and she's also looking for a man that she can kind of like run and control a little bit. That is what it's giving, just based on these last 4 episodes. But we will continue to watch, and we'll continue to find out what's going on with her. Katarina did share with her that it is normal for Irish men to stay at home with family and then move out once they're established in a relationship, starting their own family. They'll move out of the house. Now, this man lives in a cottage. You came to Ireland. I know you didn't think that Katarina was setting you up with royalty where you was going to be going to a castle. And I know you didn't think you were getting somebody that, she's from Texas. So, you have nice size homes that are, 3,000 square feet, 2,500 square feet, very roomy and spacious. You're in Ireland. So it's like, oh, she got on my nerves. She got on my nerves with that. However, this man lives off the grid, y'all. He has a cast iron tub outside. So when he wants to take a bath, he takes it outside. And if he wants the warm water, he has the ability to put fire underneath it to warm it up. Now he shares that Amber is not his type off top, but he was going with the flow to see what it was about. He said that she's beautiful. He liked her personality, which was very bubbly. And so, he was in for it and showing her around his home. They have tea. And the tea that he served her was compost tea. Okay. So the tea that he served her, when I say it was compost tea, so he doesn't have a refrigerator and his toilet is a compost toilet where when he uses it and does number 2, he takes some compost that he's made from herbs and things and he uses that. And that same compost for his toilet, it can be drunk as a tea. And that is the tea that they were drinking. And I am with Amber when she said, no, sir, I'm out of here. Not you gave me the compost tea. Because I was with her. Nope. Nah. None doing. So this gentleman, like I said, off the grid, he says he does not have perishable foods. Any of the foods he has are non-perishable or they come from the garden. And I wonder if, because of what I'm thinking about Amber, in terms of feeling like she wants a man she can control. She wants a man that has money or that can take care of her, stability and those things. When they use those words, that's kind of key. You kind of get that. I wonder if Katarina is hooking her up with these particular type of people to break her out of it so that she sees a different side of it, that she can look at a different, personality type, a different man, so that she can change her thought process on the type of man she thinks she wants, as opposed to coming across the man that she needs. Who's to say? Y'all tell me what y'all think. All right. So Monica, they're finishing up the date, her and Bernardo, and we get to the place where she actually shares that she does not want any more kids. And he said he understood. He does want to be a father, but he also seemed open to like, if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. He was happy that they had an open conversation. He wanted to spend more time with her. And here come Monica. Hot puss. Talking about she falling already. Girl, you don't know this man. Now, what is her name? Louisa? I already told you. Calm down, Cora. Calm down. Cora, calm down. Monica, no ma'am. And what about Bruno? You not head over heels for Bruno no more? I guess she said, this man I see. I see his flesh. He looks good to me. He said he's Catholic. He is athletic because we went and played the foot volley. And I'm ready. Girl, slow down. You're moving too fast. So he walks her back to her room and they kissed. And it was a long kiss. It was passionate. If she probably wasn't focused on it not being physical, they could have got down and dirty. And Louisa was really not happy about the date. Now, Monica was telling Louisa about the date the next day, and she was beaming, honey, smiling from ear to ear, because she was so happy that they had these conversations and those deep questions that she was able to ask and, discuss about herself as well. She told her about the kiss, and she said she wanted to kiss him, and she wanted to kiss him again. She wanted to kiss again and again. And Louisa said, girl, see, I had told you, slow it on down, because this is what Brazilian men do, baby. They love to kiss you and get y'all riled up and hot and bothered so that you're not focused and that you miss the red flags. I knew Louisa wasn't going to be happy about them kissing, but it's kind of like she's going on a first date. They have kind of a chemistry. Obviously, they're attracted to each other. Like, why wouldn't they at least, hold a hand or kiss or something? At least she didn't sleep with the man. Now, baby, if she was there on her own, just on a vacation, and she had met Bernardo could have got them panties. I believe it wholeheartedly. So and this is what I remember I said, well, what about Bruno? She said, baby, Bruno is no longer at the top of my mind, so he is not that important because I haven't met him yet. And I think Louisa found that very interesting, and she sees Monica as that, she know that thing hot. So she like, girl, slow down. We're going to go on more dates and no more kissing. So Monica right now, as far as we know, is banned from kissing any dates. But we'll see. I wonder if she's going to go on a date with Bruno next, or will it be someone different? Because I very well feel like, and Louisa may have said this in an earlier episode, I feel like she's holding Bruno in her back pocket to make sure that she gets Monica to a space where she's not going to fumble it and miss out and move too fast. She needs to approach it, because what she said about Bruno was like, he is a family man. He also said he's ready for a partner. So she doesn't want her just to jump into something. So I think that more dates going slower will help prepare her for Bruno. But we'll see if we get to meet Bruno. No. Okay. Y'all, Sarah. That's my auntie name, by the way. Sarah's 36. She's from Houston, Texas. She owns an online jewelry and accessory company. And when you see Sarah is giving Barbie. Blonde, big lips, big boobs, very superficial. Just from the initial seeing of her and that first few moments of her talking, you get it. Even though she's a businesswoman, she owns her own business, she's done things to be successful herself, you just get very superficial, very Barbie, very all about the looks, and we get a capture of that later based on something that Dolly asked her, okay? The other thing that I thought was interesting, I'm not going to say it was weird to me, but I'm going to choose interesting as the word we'll call it. She brought her mom with her. She says her mom is her best friend and that she doesn't want to do this without her. So she brought Mama along. They're staying for 2 weeks and Mama is going to be with her that whole time. If you all were going to be match made out of the country, would you bring your parent? I wonder. I know I wouldn't. No, you got to stay home, girl. I'll see you when I get back. What are you here for? What are you here for? Because I don't want to come back to a whole bunch of questions and all of that when I come from dates. But I guess she wants to talk to her mom about that real time and not over the phone with a time difference in terms of being in the U.S. versus in Singapore. Okay? Here's another one where I think she's about the money because she says Singapore men have a lot going on. She did mention them loving their families, but really it's about the business mind, them, being able to financially support is what I kind of got from it. And that just might be me judging because of how she looks, but that is what I got from it. We learned that she did have a previous relationship and was actually headed towards marriage, but then he decided, which I think was real, that was cold. He decided he didn't want any kids. And she said that's a non-negotiable for her. See, Victoria, this is how you come up front with what you want from the beginning. I want kids, is what Sarah is saying. And that's a non-negotiable for me. Victoria should have said, just like Sarah's saying, I don't want kids. That's a non-negotiable for me. I don't want a man who has kids or who has younger kids, and I don't want a man who wants to have kids. Sarah is very clear that she wants children, and whoever she gets with needs to have them. Now, I found it very interesting that when they were in the cab, The cab drivers they're talking about them being in Singapore, and they were like, there's a lot of rules here. There is no gum chewing in Singapore, y'all. So I had to look it up. So they have a ban on the sale and imports of chewing gum, primarily due to concerns about public cleanliness and vandalism. The ban was implemented in 1992 after chewing gum was found stuck on public property like subway doors and elevators, which caused disruptions requiring costly cleanups. So it's not entirely illegal because they do still allow for dental or nicotine gums that can be purchased through prescription, but you can't just go get a pack of Extra or a pack of Trident and start chewing. It's illegal in Singapore. Would you all go to Singapore? Are you a gum chewer? And would you go still knowing that you have those rules? And this is very important, that when you go out of the country, and you see this a lot with people, when you go out of the country, they get in trouble because they didn't look at the rules of the country that they went to, which is very, very important, which is kind of why I stay my butt in the U.S. because, but I would like to visit some places, and if I do, I'm going to make sure that I'm aware of the rules and that I follow them to the T. So Sarah does share some insight about herself, that her dad passed away 2 years ago, and so she's, sad and has feelings surrounding that, because whatever man she meets, she won't ever get her father to walk her down the aisle and experience things of that nature when it comes to her relationship. Now, when they meet Dolly, Dolly says that it is tricky, or it's going to be tricky, to match Sarah because she looks like a celebrity. And she looks like really an OnlyFans celebrity, but no judgment. That's just what she looked like. But she says that I laugh when Dolly said that she knows Asian versions of Sarah and they're all sugar babies. I said, ooh. I wonder if Sarah knew that. Again, why I say this, like, she seems like she's about the money. I wonder if she knew that when she chose Singapore, or did they pick Singapore for her? Just a thought. So Dolly says that Sarah needs someone who is not her type on paper. And Sarah says she don't have but one more heartbreak left in her. And I think that I can understand that thought, but I think we say that now. Like, I don't know how long ago that relationship that was going to head towards marriage ended. I don't recall her saying that, but I could also see that, let's say, even if it's been a year since that relationship ended, if that relationship was going towards marriage and it just flipped on its head like that, you might not be over it. And so therefore, you may in this moment just feel like, I ain't got but one more. But we know, we meet people, we have interactions with them, and sometimes those don't turn out the way we want them to. Could still be a heartbreak. I feel like she got a little bit more left in her. She just probably needs some more healing time when it comes to that. So Dolly want to know, why is mama here? Because, baby girl, you couldn't come on your own? And why is your mama here? I understand her being here in Singapore, but now she's at the meeting with Dolly. Why are you here? Stay at the hotel. I feel like it's very telling that the mama is here. And Dolly wants to know if she's going to be a helicopter mom. She expressed to her, like, and there's going to be time where I need to be alone with you as a client because I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. Like, girl, what's up? So Dolly has her set up to go out with a guy named Freddie. He's 37. He's ready for a family. He's a Singapore artist, and he's going to take her on an exploration of Singapore. And Dolly asks Sarah, is she comfortable unglamming? And she says no. And she said, well, would you wear makeup outdoors? Like, toning down might be necessary. And she explains to her, like, the men are going to judge her. And also, she does not want her to try to present a perfect picture, because I was like, well, girl, if you're going to do something that doesn't require all of that makeup and all of that kind of stuff, why can't you just do toned down? And she said, no. And when she goes to meet Dolly, she is full face, full makeup, suited and booted. And I'm not mad at anybody that presents that way, but then you also have to look at a person like, if you can't take that off and show who you are just naturally, how are you going to build a relationship with this person truly? Like, I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. And so Sarah was like, man, F all that. I'm going to look how I look. Y'all going to accept how I look. And she doubled down because she was like, basically the makeup she had on then was her out in the daytime makeup. And she was like, when it's time to go out, I get even more of a full face of makeup. And they're going to have to deal. However, Kitty, that's the mama, she agreed with Dolly. And Dolly was like, oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. I got an ally on my side. Okay. Help me out. When time comes, help me out. again, I guess if she brought her mama's her best friend. She wants her mama there. Mama's going to help give some additional insight. She doesn't seem like she's a yes woman for Sarah. So it might be beneficial that mom is there to help. And maybe that's what mom knows, that she needed to be there so that Sarah could move on from things that she's not so open to, or, deal with things that she's not so open to. So that's going to be interesting to see that dynamic when she goes on this first date, her mom being there with her. Going to be a very interesting watch. All right, y'all. We didn't see our boy Harold this time, and I saw that on the next episode. I think we're getting ready to meet a new guy, and he already looked like he's going to get on my nerves just from the clip. I am about to watch episode 5, so I'll get to see him shortly. I'll be coming to you all with that review very shortly, and you probably should see these come up back to back. I'm late because I was moving, but I really do enjoy Match Me Abroad. I'm glad that I started reviewing this show, and I'm glad that we're talking about it. You all let me know what you thought about the episode. Make sure that you thumbs up this video, give me a like. Make sure you drop your thoughts down below. I want to hear from you. And on that road to 2K, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you come back. Peace.
Hey, Roman numeral 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take it, dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that life, hit them strictly with the vibe. It's a lot, do your dance, let them watch. She a fan, he a flop, they just wanna kumbaya, nah. This world, come peace, I would go.